Yes, guys, welcome back to the Box Fits podcast. This is you.
Oh yeah, blame me in it. Blame
I've
me.
caught your speech
Oh
impediment.
bloody hell.
The Box Fits podcast. Faz, how you been, brother?
Yeah, not too bad, man. I can't complain. Busy week for me, but yeah, all good. How about yourself?
Mate, I'm always busy. What have you been up to though?
Me, I don't know, man. I've been doing a lot of planning. I've been doing lots of different bits and bobs. I haven't been able to do any content at the moment because my camera's gone for repair. But I've been doing a little planning and whatnot. So when my camera does come back, there'll be some content
Okay,
out.
okay. Well, today we've got a friend of mine on, Malachi Mullins.
Yeah,
He's done a bit of boxing on the white collar, unlicensed scene.
nice.
He's got a bit of banter.
Yeah.
He's actually quite a flashy dresser, but he's kind of disappointed today because he's come in a trouser t-shirt combo. I thought he was going to have a nice little whistle on or something.
Yeah, is that what he normally wears? A whistle?
Mate, he is quite the suave dresser, to be honest.
Fair
But
play, mate,
yeah,
fair
today
play.
he's let me down a little. But before we go on to Malachi, a few people have reached out to me and have been asking me about this sweet science.
This is sweet science, the sweet science, yeah. So, yeah, sweet science is a thing that
Whoa, 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 whoa! You
Oh,
can't talk about sweet science without doing the introduction.
oh, okay. Okay, you join about the sweet science, breaking our boxing one punch at a time. And I am here with Fitzy.
What's going on?
Fitzy. So, yeah, the sweet science, it was a thing that I kind of came up with around, I want to say a year and a half, about 18 months ago. And what it was, obviously, I've been in and around the boxing quite a bit. I've seen boxing since, I was a kid. And I wasn't ever going to go into boxing and fighting. I wasn't going to go far that way. But I still wanted to be involved in boxing. Yeah. And what it is, you would know more than I do, but boxing's a horrible sport. Boxing's a
Yeah.
dirty old sport. And I said to myself, I want to come into the boxing kind of reign and I want to influence it in a good way. So this is why, I made the Sweet Science. I want to create a platform for fighters and promoters and anyone in boxing that they can use my platform to get themselves out there. So in short terms, basically, the goal is if I can get a fight on there, or if I can get anyone that's related to boxing, whether you got amateur that's about to turn pro, or a seasoned pro, or journeyman, whatever, and I can help them get sponsored, I can help them get more views, I can help them get more eyes on them. That's the Sweet Science have done their job basically. So that's what the Sweet Science is, and yeah, just I'm gonna do loads of little different things, different insights into boxing.
Yeah.
I'm doing my Sparring Pros series coming soon, just to show the levels of boxing. Just give boxing good, like be that fresh of breath of fresh air. Sorry, I know you said that wrong. Breath of fresh air in the boxing space.
So you were part of the reason why I kind of pushed on my podcast, and you've
Yeah.
got me out there to shows interviewing. Like you like to call me your apprentice.
Yeah.
But for you, how was it when you first started out doing interviews?
Do you know what it was? It was. Do you know what? Actually, no. Generally, it was tough. No. I'll
You're
be
telling me.
Yeah, you got it easy, man. I'm kind of like, I've got your back,
I
but
thought someone was Campbell Hatton the other week.
though we will make mistakes. But I was saying, it was tough, yeah, because you know what? When you're trying to go into the media game, a lot of people are looking like, who the hell are you? Like, what are you doing here? Who are you? You're trying to get interviews. The thing is, I had quite a bit of a boxing acumen. I knew about boxing. It's not like I'm just going into boxing for banter. I want to be ringside. I want to watch boxing. I knew my boxing. I've been around boxing my whole life, so I was okay on that side. If you see my first interviews, though, they were shocking. They were so bad. I was asking like, I was just nervous. I'll be so honest with you, but it was difficult. But then what it is, I just kept me consistent, and eventually people were like, oh, well, hold on, there's this new guy on the block. He's actually really pushing hard. I can see his interviews. He's interviewing every fighter. And the big thing with me is when you probably see it now as well. When you go to shows, you get a lot of the media guys. They will only interview certain people. And maybe that's their capacity, or they just want to only interview boxers that they know and they're familiar with. But me, I want to interview every boxer from.
Yeah, I've noticed that from having to run around.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but that's what you got to do. Like, again, like if I don't interview every boxer and I said what I said before, where I want to create a platform for fighters, I'll be lying to you then. Because if I'm not going out there trying to get every single boxer, whether it's the person that's made a debut or the person that's 5-0 or whatever, then the Sweet Science ain't doing the job. So that's why. And the thing is, what I start seeing, a lot of boxers start appreciating it. Oh, look, this guy's coming to interview me and come to my change room, and you know what? It's such a blessing because I've made some fantastic relationships with boxers as well.
I mean, like with Bradley Axe, you had a brilliant start to that conversation, didn't you?
Yeah, what was
Because
that?
he's,
Oh yeah,
it
yeah.
was like,
Oh,
yeah, let's
that
get the
was.
Navy signing.
That's another tip. Yeah, make sure when you speak to your boxers, make sure you know proper. I mean, you know what? Fair play. I was a bit uneducated in that sense. Yeah, I thought he was in the Navy.
Mate, I thought Giorgio Visioli was a West Ham fan, so
Oh mate, see that's I don't know what's worse, but yeah, just little things like that. But you get to learn, and the thing is like what I love about boxers, especially on a small hall level, is they've got such a great story. Not saying in the boxers at the top got great stories, but it's like you're a part of that story as well in a way because you
yeah.
get to see like I've been invited sometimes down to what training, for example, Taiwo, Soro, a super middleweight. He invited me once to his gym after work and watch him sparring. And I know, you know, a lot of people might be like, oh, I can't be asked to go, whatnot, it's long. But for me, I was just like, I get to watch this guy spar. He sparred a guy called Tunde, Duolai as well.
Who's got an amazing story as well.
Yeah, he's got good. Yeah, he
Yeah.
has. He's a good story. This is what I'm saying. So boxers have got great stories, and if I can impact your story in a way and help you in any way or form, or create a platform or whatever it is, whether it's coming to give you an interview or posting, reposting your stuff, or trying to link you with a sponsor, then I'm happy. That's my job done, and that's what the sweet science is, in a sense.
So before we sort of wrap up this and bring Malachi on, where would you like to be in 6 months, a year's time with the Sweet Science? What's your vision now?
That's a great question to be honest, because I don't want to say like, okay, the cliche answer will be yeah, you want to be in Matchroom, you want to be in Queensbury, you want a big platform, but I want I want Sweet Science to be where a place where it's got maybe 1,000, 2,000 followers, and people are knowing about Sweet Science and the message behind Sweet Science more so. Yes, I would like to go on to the big shows so I can gain traction and
Yeah.
make a bigger platform. But for me, small hall is where it's at. I'm always going to go to a small hall show because that's what I want to influence and big up. Like, there's a lot of the guys at the top that want to do media and want to, like the IFLs and the boxing
Yeah,
TVs,
yeah.
and they're doing a great job. They're at the top. They're looking after the, you know, Ant Johnson and whatnot. But I want to give the smaller guys a platform, and I feel like where I want it to be, I want it to be, I want it to have a good reputation of, oh wow, yeah, Sweet Science, I know about you, breaking
Yeah.
out box one punch at a time.
Definitely.
Get
So
me?
for you then, what you'd like to create a bigger platform
Yeah,
to then create a bigger space for the small hall fighters to get more recognised, create more sponsorship.
yeah,
Because let's be honest, as anyone in boxing knows, small hall is struggling at the moment.
it is. It's tough.
But listen, let's bring Malachi on and let's hear his story and let's chat a little bit about last night's fights.
Yeah, it'd be decent, man. Be good to chat about. Did you watch all the fights?
I watched the Zuffer and I watched the Josh Padley fight,
Not bad.
but we'll talk
talk about
that
it
in a
more,
minute,
yeah.
Yes, guys, we're joined by Malachi Mullins. How we doing, my man? You good?
I'm sweet, man. Can't complain.
How's things? I see you're in a knee brace there, mate. Is that your dance career over?
You can't stop a hop stepper, man.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can't stop
yeah.
me, man. Yeah.
So, tell me a little bit about you, or tell our listeners a little bit about you and your boxing career.
Got into boxing late. I've had family that do boxing, and Thai boxing as well. I got into it because I was part of a car accident, and it was mainly for like fitness and health and like just getting back on my feet because it affected my spine. And then from there I did white collar fight, and then like the first of it just like kicked in. Like it was an adrenaline rush that like no other. And I played basketball, football, and everything else. So yeah, that was me hooked, and then I've jumped on a few shows after that.
Yeah. So,
Like 4.
what was that first fight like for you then?
We did like an 8-week camp, and like I think the camaraderie that you get in the camp when you train with people like they out 4 times a week on weekends, and like that build up and like that sort of like structure that it gives you was like none other. Well, like I said, in comparison to like other sports, it can be a lonely sport as well, as you lot should know.
100%.
And then like I was hearing like, you know, it'd be like the longest 2-minute rounds, the longest
Yeah,
few minutes of your
yeah.
life, and it's not until you're in there that you realise like you're looking at the time. It's like only 30 seconds of fucking gone. Like,
You had a watch when you was in the ring.
yeah, it felt like it, man. Like you could feel the time like slowly going by, but it's the ring walk as well. Your first ring walk, like some people get squeaky knees and like don't make the walk. So
Yeah.
like you have to respect anyone that can
That's
make that walk to the
yeah,
ring.
they say you can't play boxing.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
play football, you play tennis, you can't play boxing.
I mean, like football, people hide in football, like they shy away from the games.
Yeah.
You can see where like centre midfielders get quiet and that, but in a ring you can't hide, man.
Like, for me, that first fight, I done the ultra white collar.
Yeah.
So is that the same as you?
Same, yeah.
It's like you say, you train with all these people, and it's like after about week 5 or 6, you kind of have an idea who you're going to be fighting. So you're having a bit of a laugh.
Wait, so you all train together?
Yeah.
You might be fighting somebody.
Yeah.
Funny enough, for me, they brought like every time I did that twice, and they brought somebody else in from
Yeah.
the outside, so I didn't know.
Oh,
who
that
I
was a
fighting.
touch. So for
Yeah.
me, it got to about week 5 or 6, and I started to realise there's probably about 3 people it could possibly be.
Yeah.
And it was like, and then you know, sometimes you just know something, like, because what they would do, they'd get you to do some sparring, but then they'd section off the sparring. So you'd have like, say if there was 16 people there, there'd be a group of 8 here and a group of 8 there, but it was always one, like the same 8 kind of went and the other 8, so then you knew that yours was probably in the other section.
Yes.
But yeah, like then when you get to week 5 or 6, you've been having a laugh and you're like, you know, you talk. Everyone's like, 90% of them, it's their first time, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you're kind of all like, oh, you know, you're going to be all right. Who's tickets out? But then week 5 and 6, you start to know, and you're like, there's a tension that forms between them. And then obviously, like, I found out the guy I was fighting. But like I say, the first fight, you do all this training, you think you're going to be like Muhammad Ali or like this, and you're going to be slipping and rolling. My video, when I look back, mate, I was just bam, like just trying to hit him as much as I could, innit? Like, but in your head, you come out of there and you think, oh yeah, did you see me slip that shot? And your friends are like, nah, mate, I see him hit you in the face. That's about it.
It feels like when you're in there, you don't feel the hits until like the day later.
Yeah.
Like, when that sets in.
I feel like it's a thing in boxing. Like I've never ever had a punch and felt like, oh, that hurt. It's more of a thud.
Yeah.
Or if I've been hit with a big shot, you feel it, you get rocked, but it doesn't really hurt. Punches don't really hurt.
I don't know about rocking, mate. I've never been rocked.
Have you not?
Oh,
Oh, you haven't boxed properly then. But
Yeah.
trust me.
The first time I broke my nose, I didn't feel it, but then like it's like I moved back away in that, and obviously next thing it just started to gush everywhere. And then I looked around, like you see everyone's like, stop the spar, like that, and you're like, what?
Oh,
And
that was
it's
a
just
sparring thing?
yeah, it was
Damn.
just mate. My nose is like tissue paper; it will just disintegrate. Like honestly,
Damn.
you only have to look at me and it will start bleeding.
That's it. You
But,
got to get better at your head moving then, isn't it?
My head movements, that's my feet now. I'm in and out, mate. You can't catch me.
Fair play.
But so obviously, you had how many dentists did you have? 4.
4 years.
So you done the 2 ultra white collar.
And then I've done one show in Harrow Roads, and I
Yeah.
did one show in Rickmansworth.
So they were more unlicensed, were they?
Yeah.
So what did you see the difference from the white collar to unlicensed?
No head guards. One of them was 8-ounce gloves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like a lot quicker.
What weight were you?
Middleweight.
You should be fighting in 10 ounces, no?
Well, you should
Damn.
unlicensed should be 16 ounce.
Should be 16
Should be
ounces.
16
so-
ounce.
10 ounces, dangerous, man. Like, well, 8 ounces, even
Yeah,
worse.
it was-
Yeah.
My hands were quick, like in comparison to like the 16-ounce.
And you're hurting, you
Yeah, like
feel a punch, you know
you
what I'm
could
saying?
you could see a lot clearer, like when you land something, how much
Yeah,
it hurts that
yeah,
individual and stuff like that. And same thing, like the last fight I did was 16-ounce. Same thing as well, man. Like I feel like the adrenaline again is just a bit higher because you know you've got no head guard. There's a bit more of that risk factor.
Yeah.
Do you prefer fighting without head guard or with head guard?
I feel like because I feel like when you wear a
You're
head
more aware,
guard,
innit?
you've got a bigger head, you've got a bigger target.
I feel like you're more aware without head guard.
Yeah. And you don't want to get touched as much. So
Yeah,
you
of course.
kind of move
Only
your head
issue
a
is
bit more.
like head clashes. That's
Finding a head guard
Yeah.
that fits you.
fits me, but my head ain't that big, man. I'm sure there's some bigger head guards. But you have to catch this head, obviously. First,
No, but like I think without a head guard's better. Like
Yeah.
you can see, like I've had it before when I've done the white collar, and you get slightly clipped, and then the head guard spins in front of you,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
and then you can't see nothing, and then you're like trying to move the head guard, and they don't stop punching you. Like,
No.
you know what I mean? But
The amateurs used to be head guard before.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Back when I first boxed, it used to be head guard. Then I, like, through the middle of my career, kind of switched to no head guard. It's a bit of a weird change, but I preferred it low key.
yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously, then, like you say, you've had these 4 fights. I mean, with this knee now. Is that your boxing career done, or?
No, like this happened with football, and then like I said to you guys earlier, it's like the worst injury I've had considering the sports I've played, and I feel like going back to boxing would probably be more beneficial than
Safer
going
for
back
you.
to football. Yeah, like I've never had a bad injury from boxing, like, and I don't see why I'd stop just because of money. Like
So-
it'll be all right.
When you obviously before you started boxing, was you a boxing fan?
Yeah. A lot of boxing and Thai boxing. Like I said, I've grown up around
Yeah.
it. Family members that have boxed professionally and like
Yeah,
Thai
who's
boxed
that?
professionally. Patrick Mullins.
Okay.
You know, so
It's in your blood, then, isn't it?
yeah, like, you know, like when you're an angry kid as well, you get dragged into it. That's
Yeah.
the form of discipline, and then before I knew it, it was like a part of life.
I think that's a big thing.
Yeah.
Like, and schools and that now should be using it boxing for discipline.
Oh,
like,
100%.
I think there's still that misconception that you're gonna drag a child into like boxing and they're just going to use it all the
But
time,
the thing is,
everywhere.
boxing is
it
a humbling
doesn't.
sport, man.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't do that. Like
Yeah.
I always feel you can sense someone that's been trained to fight by the way they carry themselves,
Yeah.
especially in heated situations.
I feel like a fighter, if you're a fighter, you don't want to fight because you know the damage that you can inflict on someone because you can hurt someone.
Yeah.
Or unless you're getting paid for it.
And yeah, obviously, like for example, don't even think about it. If you got like a good amateur boxer, yeah, that's like 60 kilos, whatever, he would knock people spark out. He or she could knock people spark out on the street. So that's the problem. I feel like with a fighter, they don't want to fight, and plus they're in like you gotta think if you're a pro boxer or amateur boxer, you're trained to fight. You hit someone across the head with your hand, you're gonna break them. You know what I mean? And these are your weapons, your tools, basically, to make your bread and butter. So yeah, that's the thing with. I feel like boxing should be put into schools and should be pushed. It's not just the fact of the violence, because people say, oh, it's too violent. Oh, you shouldn't do it. Da, da, da. But that's not what boxing is. Boxing is a skill. Boxing is art. You know what I mean? Like being able to put all your skills together and be in that ring. And plus, it takes a lot more than that. It takes a lot of discipline. When you step into that ring, you get them nerves.
There's a lot of
before that bell goes, a lot of mental. So I feel like boxing should be pushed out there.
I
a
think
lot.
one of the things when people always have asked me about like, do you get nervous and all stuff like that, I actually say like the thing I find the weirdest is like waking up in the morning and you know you're going to be fighting that evening. Like trying to explain that to people,
Yeah,
like, and they're
right,
like,
man.
because I've had friends
Something
ring me when I'm at work and I'm fighting at like 8 o'clock, and they're like, "What are you doing at work?" And I'm like, "Still got to pay bills."
Yeah.
They're like, "Yeah, but shouldn't you be like, what should I be doing? Like,
Do you know
what is it you think I'm going to be up to?"
Yeah, for me, when I was fighting, it's that bit when you walk out and then they announce your name, or like, obviously I do box amateur, and then just before the bell goes, that's when my anxiety is the highest. And once that bell goes and you get in the middle of the ring, it just I'm good from there.
I think it's after the first like jab.
Yeah,
It's
probably,
like
yeah.
you zone out the crowd, you
Yeah,
zone
yeah,
out all
yeah,
the
yeah,
noise,
yeah.
and it's just you and whoever, and it's
That's
everything
it.
else is like white
And
noise.
you focus, innit? You
Yeah.
like it's like flow state in a way. You focus on that person ahead of you.
Almost tunnel vision, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So if I can move us on now to talk a little bit about last night's shows. I've done a review today on Zuffer boxing. I mean, I watched the Zuffer show and caught the end of the Padley fight. I was actually really impressed with the Zuffer show. I don't know about you guys. I thought we'll go through each fight like in a second, but as for their first one, and with Chris Smith headlining, who, I mean, you wouldn't probably pick him as your main event for your first ever show if you're trying to make a big impact, but I think it worked really well. Like the fight was a very good fight.
I think they're really smart with it because it was in the Bournemouth International Centre and Crispin is from Bournemouth.
Yeah.
So they did good in that sense. But it looked good, and I've seen a lot of not mixed reviews, I've seen a lot of good reviews about Zuffer boxing from the other media outlets, and they said it was a really good show. Obviously, like, come on, you can't expect it to be something like Riyadh season in Wembley,
Yeah.
AJ and Dubois. I mean, but for the first show, I mean, it's not bad, and I feel like Chris Smith is a great fighter too.
Yeah, he is good. Like we'll touch on that fight now. Like, so for me, obviously, the guy who was fighting Rosicki, as I was calling him, after the legend at Arsenal, he literally came to fight and had no defense. He looks like the type of fighter who probably his coach has trained him. We're going to do this. We're going to first few, and it's like bell goes, boom. I'm just throwing arms like
Out the window, everything went out the window. He almost like was trying to bulldoze him.
It was a slugfest. There was a real slugfest in there.
Yeah,
as well.
I thought Billum Smith, the first round or two, he'd done the right thing. He didn't throw a lot of punches. He seemed to see what this guy was going to do, threw a few counters. But then once he got the measure of him, I felt it was a matter of time before he was going to stop him, even though he's a tough guy.
Yeah, I feel like Chris Mullins did get dragged into like a slugfest and a fight more than a boxing match. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, I mean,
he's a tough cookie.
He's partial to a slugfest himself, so I don't.
Yeah, but he's a technically good boxer as well.
Yeah.
He's that kind of boxer where he can step back, and he did catch. I forgot about his name. Oh God, I'm gonna forget his name. He did catch him with a good shot where I remember seeing he kind of went. Yeah, it was like a check. No, I think Vizisky went for a shot, stepped back, and boom, hit him.
Yeah.
That's the kind of boxer Chris Mullins is. And
he did a few times use his feet well, where he stepped back and let him fall short, and then came with the overhand right.
Yeah.
But I mean, in one of the rounds, he hit him 10 times full on without anything. He didn't do anything. He just stood there and took all of them. For me, I think it was actually after seeing the Fabio Wardley fight. It was good to see the corner pull their fighter out, because he looked like a guy who was never going to stop. Even if he got dropped, I think he was going to get back up.
No fighter's going to stop, though. That's the mentality
I mean,
of a fighter.
you say that, but there's a difference between what he was like. He was just like going in head first.
Getting hit, yeah.
Yeah, like
He'd be like self-destructive.
Yeah,
in that
that's
manner.
it.
Like,
Yeah.
he'd do himself more damage than good in the end.
Absolutely.
So for now, where do you think Billum Smith goes now? Because for me, I think the only thing really for him now to do is fight Apataya.
Yeah. I think it'll be a good fight. I do feel like right now, Apataya. Actually, I've not seen. Apataya hasn't fought for a while, and I just feel like it's the only thing is it's the only fight that makes sense in the cruiserweight division.
He's got nothing left to prove to anyone else at any other like this. For me now, I would be like, have this last fight and then walk away.
He's in his last phase of his career, anyway. And I feel like he can become. You never know. He could become world champion again. But it is hard.
The Zuffer world champion.
Yeah, it was Zuffer world champion now with everything going on. But yeah, I mean, the good thing is Optai is signed with Zuffer as well, so that makes it easier. And I feel like that would sell out a lot.
Yeah,
personally.
I think that's where they're going next. Still on the cruiserweights, let's talk about Jack Massey and Chef Clark. For me, that fight was mad.
Crazy.
Like,
Yeah.
but I said in my thing, I felt that Jack Massey lost that fight rather than Chef Clark won it, because he had Chef Clark hurt, and then he started looking for everything he went through. Then was a knockout punch go after that.
One thing I've got to say, and I give lots of props to Chef Clark, a lot of boxers, when they get knocked down or stunned, they stand there and fight or tuck up or try to take some hits. He actually went on his bike and kept it moving. I feel like that's what kept him in the fight.
He done the right thing. He managed to get himself back in. Yeah. Like, he had about 30 seconds or so when he was dropped, and he managed to avoid him. When he did get near him, he grabbed him. Like, he done the right thing. He bought himself that time. And don't get me wrong, like, Chev Clark done what he had to do to get him out of there. But for me, as a coach, with Jack Massey, I would have said to him, stop going for the kill. Like, back off, use your jab, use that 1-2 that was causing problems, keep the distance. But everything, he was just trying to land that big overhand right all the time.
He did catch that when the first time he hit him. That was a big overhand. He just went off straight onto the ground, innit? And
yeah,
it was like it wasn't like a huge knockdown, but it was more of like a flash knockdown. But he kind of like lifted him off his shoes. But that's the thing, you know, a lot of boxers, what they do when they smell blood, they just go through it and throw the kitchen sink. And I always say, like, I think that is, I don't want to say it in bad way, but that's low-level boxing, personally.
Yeah.
You should kind of wait for your opportunity, wait for him to make a mistake and still hit him, because that's going to be more effective than just running and bashing him up. But, I mean, who am I to say anything anyway?
Who are you to say anything?
Exactly.
On that night, there was two other fights that I want to talk about. One was Sam Hickey, who looks like he's starting his journey. A very good performance. I don't think we could read a lot into it because, as you know, boxing, I don't think his opponent was there to cause him any major problems at that stage. And Stevie McKenna, who's gone up in weight, and to me, from when he fought Joe Laws, which I thought was an awful fight, for professional boxing, he looks a little better at this weight. He looks Fuller, who looks like, do you know what I mean? I think this could
Carrying
be, this could be his weight. Like, I feel like maybe he's,
Talking on that, I feel like a lot of boxers unfortunately do drain themselves to get that 2 or 3 kilos less, and that takes a lot from your game.
Yeah.
And I remember speaking to cruiserweight Lucas Swerwick about this, and he said once in a podcast that he was going to go down to light heavyweight and box, and he boxed at light heavyweight. But when he's trained by George Groves.
Yeah.
But when he had a conversation with George Groves, he says no, stay at cruiserweight because you don't want to get rid of all that water weight and that. You imagine you're draining yourself. You go into the ring, you get hit, and yes, you are big for the weight, but you're draining so much resources from you that you can't.
yeah. You're not
And that's
getting the
why-
benefits
that's it,
if
and-
you've dropped too much.
Yeah, obviously, don't get me wrong. If you're like, I know boxers are always going to drain weight and try to go to the smallest weight because they want to get to the smallest weight and they want to have that advantage. But is it really an advantage when you're draining so much and you're
There's a
dehydrated?
thin line in it between like
That's it.
carrying the power down with you and then like lacking the energy and like the ability to still box.
Take a shot.
Yeah.
That's the danger. Are you able to still take a shot?
But talking on the topic, like, I remember when I met Chris Smith once, and I said to him, "How much are you like outside of camp?" He says about 100 kilos, and obviously the cruiserweight limit is like 91,
Yeah,
90
yeah.
kilos. So that's okay. You're losing weight. You probably gradually lose the
Yeah,
excess fat.
he'll probably lose
But
some
when
gradually
you're
if
like,
he can.
when you get some boxers that are like out of camp, like 74 kilos, and they're trying to go to February with 59 kilos, that's just
Yeah.
That's
ridiculous,
depleting.
man.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So, for you guys then, Zuffer Boxing, do you think they're here to stay and they're gonna make a big name for themselves?
I'll let you go first.
I think with the right coverage and like the right fighters, like they'll put in a good bid for their place to stay at the
Yeah.
moment. Especially like amongst the British fans as well. I think that'd be great. And then if they can like spread out to internationally as well, I think that they'll be good to go, man.
Yeah, the thing about Zuffer boxing, I feel like it's kind of like the same situation with, you know, a couple of years ago when they had like the Super Cup that came in football where they were going to get the top players in all the leagues and make their own thing and
Yeah,
put
yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of money in. It's kind of that kind of thing. But with boxing's a bit like the Wild West. You can do what you want as long as
Yeah.
you've got the money that pays. And obviously, Turki Al-Sheikh, he's behind Zuffer with Dana White, and what I say, sorry,
You and
sorry.
names, innit?
Me with names is so bad. But what I'm seeing, I feel like Zuffer is gonna be around and take over. Obviously, it's a threat to Queensberry, it's a threat to Matchroom, it's a threat to even Boxer. But again, if boxers are getting paid good money, if, for example, if Chris Smith fought yesterday, if he fought on a normal reality or let's say a Matchroom show, he might have got like quarter of the money that he might have got paid us on, and he only boxed at Bournemouth International Centre
Yeah.
and whatnot. So if the boxers are getting paid good money, I'm all for it. I'm like, go get your bag. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like about Zuffer boxing is they want to eliminate all the belts and have it one belt, one division champion. What makes it very hard for boxers to become world champions? Because the difference from UFC and boxing is like, okay, you're the champion. This person's second. UFC, you're fighting. Simple as that. Then Dana White will order that fight. In boxing, it doesn't work like that. It's a bit more like, oh, this is not right. That's not right. The money's not right. This is not right. Oh, I think thankfully because of Turki Al-Sheikh, he's coming and he's made loads of fights happen.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, there's a lot of politics in boxing, so I think that's what it will cause. I don't see a one belt system, one belt per division system work in boxing, but again, it could work. But I feel like Zuffer is definitely here as a threat.
I think the place where they're going to struggle, because in UFC he created that from the ground up and there was nothing there, so like I said, that one belt system, money is okay, but with boxing you've got heritage and history,
Exactly.
and yes, everyone wants to make money, but there's a large number of fighters out there that their dream is to be world champion, their dream is to be British champion, and if you can't get that through Zuffer, I have a feeling that they may end up being very similar to the Saudi League and the American League, where they start picking up fighters who have won a world title, or it's become very apparent that they're not going to win a world title, but still elite. Do you know what I mean? Still at the top, but they're not going to be like Usyk, or they're not going to be a prime Canelo or a prime Mayweather. So now I'm going to go over to Zuffer, win a world title, or at least make a load of money.
Yeah.
So for me, while the main belts are off the table there, I think they'll struggle to be the pinnacle. But I think they're definitely going to be able to attract some big names. But I feel it may be more of a Saudi league type of thing. And
It might do good in terms of like giving certain fighters that platform to be able to still showcase themselves when they're
Yeah.
quiet and they can't get fights in other.
But that's the thing, money talks and if you are a boxer and you have a family, the thing you're going to think about is securing your family will taking the less damage as possible. And like they said with Conor Ben before, 50 million came his way. He went. I don't see the problem with that. I mean, it is a bit shady how he did it, but again, money talks. So yeah, it's a bit all up in the air at the moment.
Everyone's got a price, man.
That's it. That's it.
so while we talk about money,
How much you offering me?
mate, I couldn't afford you. This Saturday, we've got Tommy Fury versus Eddie Hall.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this? Because MisFits boxing is growing or is quite big.
It's one of them ones where it feels kind of gimmicky. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, as much
100%.
as it just feels like there's a lot of money that gets thrown in, and then you got like the YouTubers that are coming in and they have the money to get the training and stuff like that, but then they haven't maybe got that grit and the actual boxing technique down
Yeah.
to a T, and they haven't got that experience, and it's a bit gimmicky because you're popular and you're famous and
Yeah.
you get that platform, and it turns into a little bit of a
You
shit show.
get you get good and bad in all things. But with MisFits, I feel like the good thing you're seeing here is like a lot of these like Eddie Hall or Tommy Fury or KSI, all them guys, they fight and that attracts a massive audience.
Yeah.
All them people that follow KSI, all them people that follow Sidemen and whatnot, they attract that massive young audience into boxing. And more eyes on boxing, better is. Yes, they're gonna get paid money, but it's supply and demand, economics. That's how it works.
Yep.
And I feel like if you're creating a good outlet for boxing, yes, it's not like
The arts.
the proper boxing,
Yeah.
like you said, heritage, like whatnot. But it's kind of like an offspring of boxing for these celebrities to go out there, make money, to go out there, get themselves relevant again, and to get audience. So I feel like MisFits is decent. Like
I feel like Misfits should like maybe get someone like Zlatan on there. Like
Yeah.
there's a few
that's what
celebrities out there that
people would watch it. People would watch it.
because he's
So
got
yeah.
a background in combat sports.
Yeah,
and
but
stuff.
if you go like 10, 15 years back, boxing was like not as popular as it is now.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
feel like MisFits, Zuffer, like Riyadh season, Turkish, all these things are kind of accumulating to make boxing popular again.
Yeah.
And the good thing is, if these, yes, his MisFits is not the greatest thing in the world, but if MisFits are making boxing popular with whatever they're doing, it's good for the sport. End of story.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I'm pro MisFits, but if it's in its lane, like the Tommy Fury Eddie Hall fight is probably borderline too silly for me. Like, but a lot of these guys on MisFits are actually living the life. When MisFits first started, it was a bit gimmicky, like, but if you actually watch some of the shows further down the card, they're actually not bad fights in the sense of like, if you go to a unlicensed fight and you've got two guys who've had a few fights, it's a decent fight. Do you know what I mean? It's not world level, but it's interesting.
Yeah.
So these guys are training, they're working hard, but for me, it just needs to be borderline between it being a bit too gimmicky sometimes, and then
Yeah, there's like a £100 weight difference between Eddie Hall and Tommy
Yeah.
Fury. And I feel like the thing is, Tommy Fury was an actual professional boxer. Then he went on Love Island. Then he's like that side of it. I just feel like what you're saying. There's a fine line, and when it gets crossed, it's like, come on, mate. You know what I mean?
But we have to give them their due. Like you say, they're bringing more eyes to boxing.
Yeah.
There's lots of kids out there now. Like, I mean, I think it was Tony Bellew said on a podcast that his kids watched Jake Paul's fight instead of watching like a pro fight that was on that weekend. Like, kids are going to be more interested in these, and there's going to be kids going to the gym because they've watched Jake Paul fight, they've watched KSI fight, and then, as you both know, if you go into the gym and you start boxing for whatever reason, you can be hooked like that.
That's it.
And there's going to be a kid somewhere who's going to grow into an adult in the next 10, 15 years, and they're going to be like, why did you start boxing? And they're probably going to say, because I watched Jake Paul fight. Do you know what I mean? So
That's not a bad thing.
yeah.
Do you think MisFits would take over?
No, MisFits will MisFits will dominate the influencer boxing scene.
Or do you think it will spill into the actual boxing scene? If you know what I mean, like
Well, I think they tried to, didn't they? like they did have a pro license for a while.
Is it? Oh, I didn't know
Yeah, I
that.
think they
Okay.
did have a pro license. I think
Yeah.
when KSI fought Tommy Fury, I think that was a pro fight.
Oh wow. Okay.
I'm not 100% sure. Like, don't quote me on that, but I
Okay.
believe that they did have a pro license for a while and it got taken off of them.
Hmm.
But like I say, like if anything that brings attention to boxing and it then comes down the food chain and gives money to the small hall fighters or even to the gyms that are struggling to stay open, like, do you know what I mean? Then I'm all for it because for me, boxing is important. It's been important in my life, and I wouldn't say it saved my life, like, but it's definitely helped me on a path to a better life. And there's hundreds of thousands of people out there who would probably say that boxing has saved their
Definitely.
lives. So
Boxing has impacted a lot of people in a good way.
definitely.
100%.
Is there anything else you want to talk about today?
God, what have we done already? No, I'm joking. Nah, I mean, yeah, we talked about what MisFits, Zuffer, boxing,
Oh,
Padley and
Padley.
Fiaz. Now, do you know what? Let me start on the one. I watched the whole fight. Yeah. And two things I want to say. I feel like Fiaz was winning and he was doing well. And Josh Paddy, maybe he's a slow starter and he was struggling a bit. But that referee was shocking in my opinion. Do you watch the whole fight?
No, I watched 8, 9, and
Yeah.
10.
Yeah, I watched pretty much from start to finish, and I just feel like the referee was just against Fias for everything he was doing. I mean, yes, he did lean forward and kind of headbutted him and took that
There's a
point
few
away.
low blows as
And
well.
there was a bit.
They weren't intentional.
It wasn't a bit. It's like
A couple was on the belt line.
on the belt
There
line.
was
What's
one or
low
two
blow?
that
If it was like
low.
on like where
On Greg,
where the
yeah.
groin guard is, fair enough. But he's hit him, and obviously Padley's I think a tiny bit shorter than Padley. Padley's tiny bit shorter than Fiaz, so them shots are going to hit him. But it's like I just feel like the referee went in his favour. I mean, don't get me wrong, Padley won. He's still the European champion. Was fantastic for him, but I feel like Fiaz could have won that fight, and he started off so well. He was putting Padley on the back foot, hitting him good on the ropes, and making it difficult for him. But the thing is, Padley is a tough cookie, and like he survived 9 rounds against Sugar
Yeah.
Stevenson. I mean, that in itself is an achievement. So yeah, yeah. What do you think of the fight?
I think Padley boxed well in the back foot, and I think that's what like swayed the judges in his favour. Because like
Do you think it would have been a lot more even if the point weren't deducted? It was
possibly-
close in the cards.
It was one of those sort
I
of
mean, the
like
point was the difference between it being a draw and Padley winning.
I think
could
it
say
was
that.
one of
Well,
those
no,
like
it was
what you
because
prefer.
one judge had Padley, one judge had Fiaz,
Yes.
and the other judge had Padley by 1 point. So,
Oh yeah, so it would have been a
so
draw.
yeah, it would have been a draw.
I don't know. I feel like, but don't get me wrong, Fiaz can come back,
Yeah,
and he can definitely fight for that title again or around that
he's
area.
young as well, man.
And he's young as well. So yeah, he can't be too disarmed. He's a quality boxer as well. But Padley, I think he's gonna. If he defends the European title now, the only way is up.
Well, they're talking about world titles for him now, but I mean, is he that? Will he do anything at world level, or is he just going to go there, get beaten, come back? Where does his train end? Because obviously he had the Shakur Stevens fight, and I'm going to give him his dues. Like he has played that perfectly. Like
he has, yeah.
he done really well in the fight, but he's managed to create this career now. And yes, there was a few pullouts. He's ended up headlining the show. He's won, regardless of how you feel about it.
Yeah, like I've got something against Padley. No,
No. But what I'm saying is he's now won, so he's now going to move forward. That's what he said he wants to do. But I don't see him winning a world title.
not when Shakur's around. Like it's tough.
There's too many.
Good guys at that weight as
Yeah,
well.
bro.
Yeah, especially over the other side of the Atlantic. Like, it's unfortunate for him because maybe another time he could have definitely won champion. I mean, he's a great boxer. He would definitely contend for a world title. I feel like, but is he good enough to get over the line? Yeah,
I don't know.
We just put a pin in that one. Yeah.
So before we wrap this up, Malachi,
Yep.
every week we have a little competition.
Yeah.
Faz versus the guests. I've got a few questions. You have to bear with me because I've had to put them in my notes
Can't we just
today.
give it to him already?
No, he never wins.
Yeah, I can't win. Even
Right,
again,
so
like-
so in the spirit of influencer boxing, we're going to have a couple of questions. So Faz, first one goes to you. Who has the bigger amount of followers on Instagram, Jake Paul or AJ?
I'm gonna say Jake Paul.
Jake Paul has 28 million and AJ has 18.
Oh, okay.
Malachi, to you now, KSI or Tyson Fury?
I feel like KSI.
KSI has 13 million. Tyson Fury has 6.9. So now to both of you, so it's 1-1. Who has the biggest following, Logan Paul or Canelo Alvarez?
Logan.
Ooh. I don't know, because you said Logan, I'm saying Canelo.
Logan Paul has 26 million and Canelo Alvarez has 18.9 million.
Oh, damn, got that.
It's the youth, man.
That's it.
It's the
Is
youth.
it
It's the
influencing?
youth,
That's what it is, yeah.
So, Faz, to you first of all right, what is the record viewing figures pay-per-view for MisFits? Give me a number.
A number, any number.
Yeah. How many views, pay-per-views it
I'm going to
has?
say like 20 million. Let's chuck it out
Do you
there.
want to go lower or higher?
Lower, man. Lower.
Yeah, so it's 1.3 million.
Way off.
Yeah.
Way off
Can you
that.
guess the fight?
AJ versus Jake Paul?
No,
that's not
that
MisFits.
wasn't
That's not
MisFits.
sorry. KSI versus Logan?
KSI versus Tommy Fury.
Tommy Fury. Wow, okay, that had the most views.
Interesting.
And on that one, the estimated earnings for Tommy Fury for that fight, Malachi, you can go first.
Damn.
2 mil?
I'm going to say three more.
The estimated earnings, according to ChatGPT, not me, is 5 million for Tommy Fury.
Not bad.
You know, decent.
Not bad.
That's not bad. I can understand 6 rounds. You know, he's never going to earn that as a pro. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I think that's the most he will earn, definitely. If he was to go professional boxing instead of MisFits, yeah, he wouldn't earn.
He probably
anything
wouldn't
near
earn that in all. Well, he might do because of his name, but
Yeah,
like,
probably have to, but he paid to fight on the show, mate. That's
yeah,
that's how it
but I
would be.
wouldn't pay to watch him anyway.
No, mate.
But
no,
Malachi, thank you for coming on. I hope you
for
enjoyed
having me,
it.
Yeah, man.
Faz,
yeah.
what have we got planned this week?
What have we got planned this week? We're gonna be filming I'm gonna have you in my corner hopefully. Sparring Pro series on next Friday, and that'll be out in the week after. What else have we got planned? We haven't got any shows.
We've got Warren.
We've got Warren Boxing Management on the 13th of June. That's a good
Yes.
show, by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah, that is good.
That's a really good show. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'll be doing I'm sure we both look forward to that, but I'll be doing a review on that, and then
I've got a half marathon on Sunday.
oh yeah, damn.
Nice.
Yeah, you'll be there, won't you? Cheering me on.
Pom-poms.
That's it. Give me a F. Give
Well,
me a high.
guys, until next time, it's been emotional.